Good evening and welcome to World War Thunder News. I am your anchor, Old Dead Man. Our top stories tonight, it's fix number 35, World War II, This Day in History, Play for Peace giveaway goes horribly awry, world weather, and outside War Thunder, 7 Days to Die Alpha 20. But first, Operation Winter update. Reports from the field indicate that Operation Winter is still ongoing. As of Saturday night, our anchor had completed all the available marks of distinction, though not without setbacks. For instance, on Mark of Distinction number 8, despite being only 2 assists away from completing the mark, the anchor ended up managing 5 wins without a single assist, which also completed the mark. Since assists from scouting do not count as assists for the event, this meant actually firing on enemy tanks to get the assists. Of course, every shot fired after the point resulted in a net kill. I don't know why I can't get assists when I just seem to want them. Moving on to its fix number 35, several vehicles, including Hellcats, Hurricanes, and Typhoons, were still launching pairs of rockets rather than individually. This has now been fixed. Star shells or illuminating shells were overwhelming night vision devices, making them ineffective while the lights descended gradually to the ground. Gaijin has turned on the dimmer for these flares, so they will no longer overwhelm your night vision goggles. The rangefinder upgrade in ground arcade battles was a fairly useless upgrade. Now it will increase the range of the ballistics marker, though the armor penetration marker will remain the same. And fireballs from downed aircraft will no longer display across the entire naval battlefield and will be restricted in their location. So let's move on to what happened in World War II today in history. On the 3rd of January 1940, the Soviet submarine S-2 struck a naval mine in the Sea of Åland and sunk with all hands lost. Meanwhile, the Battle of Rata Road was ongoing, with Finnish 9th Division troops pinning down Russians while they attacked their field kitchens and bonfires. In 1941, British artillery began shelling Italian defensive positions at Bardia, Libya, alongside naval bombardment as part of Operation Compass, while German bombers attacked Bristol, England, destroying the granary on Prince's Wharf. In 1942, Japanese submarine I-158 sank the Dutch ship Longos off Baldwin Island. Also, the US B-25D variant took to the skies for the very first time. In 1943, Soviet troops recaptured Mozdok, Russia as part of the Caucasus Campaign. And 1944 brought British mosquitoes attacking Solingen and Essen in Germany, while the German blockade runner Weserland scuttled herself under 5-inch gunfire from USS Somers. And finally, in 1945, a German V-2 rocket hit the Royal Hospital in Chelsea, London, England. Let's move on to the Play for Peace giveaway with so many issues. I just want to make a personal note here. This is not a segment I really wanted to do. This is a bad situation, and honestly, it's not one that comes off with a rosy, happy ending. That said, I would be remiss in providing you with the news if I didn't at least address this issue. Gaijin Entertainment angered players after a special code for new players was able to be redeemed by existing and veteran players to receive 3 premium vehicles and 7 days of premium time. This alone would not have caused issues, save for when Gaijin reversed the giveaway for existing accounts. It put many of those, quote, in debt for 1 day of premium, meaning your premium balance was literally negative 1 day. Reaction to this account in debt were varied from longtime War Thunder content creators, who all expressed various levels of disbelief. Links to those I could find are in the description below. Some even pondered leaving the partnership program entirely, though I've seen no indications that this was done in the end. I did reach out to Gromvoini of the Gaijin store team for an official statement, and was pointed to a forum thread he had been responding to. In summary, the premium vehicles and premium time were intended for new accounts only. Existing accounts that made use of the code should have been both simultaneously credited 1 day of premium time and had 7 days removed for a net of 6 days. Though none of those who had used the code in the 1 day it was bugged would be losing the premium vehicles. Link to the thread is also in the description below. And now I briefly divert into my opinion, and I want to be clear, this is my opinion only. Having worked in social media, marketing, and customer service in the past, in my opinion, this was handled pretty poorly by Gaijin. A simple explanation of the mistake and preventing additional users from claiming the code in the first place would have actually ended up being a marketing boon to them, showing that they were able to make and correct a mistake and also show a touch of generosity, letting people know that yes, that was a mistake, but we're not going to penalize you for it. Instead, by trying to implement this fix the way they did and then messing it up, they compounded the error by alienating players, and it really just ended up being the cure was far worse than the disease. A few days of premium time would have expired in a week and been gone. You can make the case that that's still money out of the bank for them. But even so, they could have just reduced it by 5 days and avoided the issue entirely. This really does come down to just a poorly implemented fix that should not have happened in the first place. Please let me know what you think of the situation in the comments below. I also do want to give special thanks to W.I.N.T.E.R for being a straight shooter on this, not mincing words. Clearly this situation was a bad one all around for Gaijin, and it could have been handled better, but he certainly was calling it straight when he spoke about it on the forums. And now, your weather forecast for random global cities on January 3rd, 2022. By special request, Wilmington, Delaware, United States will be expecting wind and snow with a high of 32 degrees Fahrenheit or 0 Celsius and a low of 18 degrees or -8 Celsius. Toronto, Canada is expecting sunny, windy, and cold with a high of -4 Celsius and a low of -6. Traveling south, Campinas, Brazil has a heavy rain alert with thunderstorms at a high of 28 degrees, low of 20. Crossing the Atlantic, Johannesburg, South Africa will be getting scattered thunderstorms with 27 degrees for the high and 15 degrees for the low. Passing over Rommel's stomping grounds in northern Africa to Berlin, Germany, expect rain and 9 degrees with a low of 6. A quick hop over to Gaijin HQ in Budapest, Hungary. We're looking at partly cloudy skies and 13 degrees with the low sticking in definite sweater territory at 4 degrees. Japan will be looking at lovely, if a touch chilly weather, with Tokyo expecting 11 degrees high and 1 degree low under sunny skies. And finally, dropping down to Fremantle, Australia for the Tuesday forecast, we have a rather warm 32 degrees and sunny with lows dropping only to 19 degrees. And that's the random world weather. We'll end off outside War Thunder today with a brief look at the new Restore Power quest in 7 Days to Die Alpha 20. This is an interesting and new quest type and one I rather enjoy. The generators act like picking a locked safe, taking a certain amount of focus time to start, during which all the nearby zombies are awakened. This can be a nail-biting experience, especially when you're lighting these off at night. However, rest assured, once you've started the quest between 2200 hours and 0100 hours, you are not constrained to finishing before dawn. While that's certainly possible to do under normal settings, I was worried my 10-minute days would result in being unable to complete these quests in time. However, dawn will find your quest still active, so enjoy even if you are taking your sweet time doing it. And that's World War Thunder news for January 3rd, 2022. Happy New Year! If you have an article or opinion piece you'd like to write for World War Thunder news, please let me know in the comments or contact me on Discord. I am your anchor, Old Dead Man. You have a good night.